Have you ever wondered why some women choose to live alone, without a boyfriend, without a partner, and seemingly without even searching for one? The answer does not lie in loneliness, a lack of options, or unresolved wounds from the past. It lies in something far deeper, something that unsettles many because it dismantles long-held assumptions about a woman's role. When a woman chooses to be alone, it does not mean she is lost. On the contrary, she is on a journey back to herself. And this journey is not loud. It does not seek validation, attention, or applause. It unfolds in silence, where inner strength and a sense of freedom are slowly forged. She is not lonely. She has simply become more selective. Not because she is cold, but because she has grown tired of giving too much to those who never truly wanted to hold that warmth. Living alone for her is not an absence. It is a space wide enough to ensure she never loses herself again. There is something deeply unsettling to society about a woman who does not need a relationship to feel whole. Because when a woman does not need love to feel complete, every logic of control collapses. Old beliefs about emotional dependency and the idea that a woman must be protected fall apart. The truth is, many people do not know how to face a woman who does not need saving. Carl Jung spoke of the shadow, everything we deny within ourselves. And many women who live alone today are reflections of that collective shadow. They represent what many secretly long to become, yet lack the courage to embody. They do not call out for love. They do not display themselves for attention. They choose silence and quiet decision. They retreat not out of fear, but out of self-preservation. Instead of chasing a prince, they prioritize inner peace. This makes the world uncomfortable, because while society urges people to pair up, these women discover strength in solitude. A woman who lives alone is not lost. She is simply operating on a different level of consciousness, one where nothing is begged for, only chosen, and where her own presence is enough. She is not lacking or deprived. She exists on another plane, where there is no pleading, only conscious choice. She does not rely on external validation, because being present with herself already fulfills her. Perhaps that is why she attracts so much judgment and labeling. Few understand that beneath her apparent quiet lies immense inner power, a depth of presence capable of filling space and challenging outdated emotional norms. She is not searching for just any kind of love. What she desires is a connection that does not shrink her or erase who she is. Until such love appears, she stands steady, whole, and complete within her own world. Some may call this pride, defensiveness, or hidden pain, but deep within, a quiet question pulses, impossible to ignore. What if this silent path is actually the doorway to the most important kind of love? The silence surrounding a woman who lives alone is not emptiness. It is a sanctuary, a sacred space that protects her from losing herself. She does not build boundaries to shut the world out, but to safeguard her inner essence. And within that solitude, she discovers that being alone is not absence, but fertile ground for self-understanding and growth. While most people attempt to fill their inner voids through external relationships, this woman turns inward. She enters her vast inner world, where she must face what she avoided for years: childhood wounds, unspoken abandonment, attachments once called love but rooted in fear. Her decision to live alone does not come from an open wound, but from a scar that has healed. She has not stopped believing in love. She has simply stopped accepting what others call love when it makes her feel smaller. She once loved until she lost herself, gave too much, begged for what should never have required pleading. But after repeated disappointments, pain stopped breaking her and began teaching her. What others mistake for coldness is, in truth, emotional maturity. That maturity means she no longer seeks just any presence. She longs for reciprocity. No longer seduced by empty promises, she trusts only genuine presence. Perhaps that is why she feels distant to many, not because she is unreachable, but because she is whole. And when a woman becomes whole, the world responds with two extremes: admiration and fear. She does not want to complete anyone, nor does she need to be completed. She only wishes to walk beside someone who has also found themselves. Until that happens, she chooses solitude, not by fate, but by unwavering loyalty to her own soul. She is not hiding from the world. She is learning to protect herself. There is a clear boundary between isolation and self-preservation, though not everyone is perceptive enough to see it. In a society that still believes happiness exists only in pairs, a woman living alone is often viewed with suspicion, as if it were a sign of failure. But she does not live to satisfy outdated definitions. Carl Jung once said that where convention rules, authenticity disappears. This woman lives by essence, not by templates. When told she is too picky or should settle because no one is perfect, she smiles. She knows that what others call picky is, for her, simply the minimum required to never lose herself again. She is not searching for perfection. She seeks someone mature enough to love without destroying, someone who has faced their own darkness, as she has. And the truth is, such people are rare. The discomfort she creates lies not in her words, but in what she represents. She is living proof that happiness does not require dependency, that threatens those who feed on insecurity and unsettles those still craving approval. But she does not try to prove anything. She simply lives in truth. And that quiet freedom becomes the most powerful mirror for those still bound within. She no longer lives in haste. She refuses to be swept up by a world demanding instant answers about love, happiness, and worth. While society pressures people to be with someone to prove they are not lacking, she slows down and listens inwardly. Not because she cannot love, but because she has learned the cost of loving without awareness. She seeks depth in an age addicted to distraction. Amid countless shallow connections, she longs for real presence, without performance, without masks. When others chase attention, she withdraws to protect her life energy. Not from arrogance, but from understanding the exhaustion of empty bonds. When she says no, it is not a game. When she leaves, it is not drama. And when she chooses to be alone, rather than with someone who makes her feel smaller, it is not coldness, it is clarity. A clarity forged through pain, misjudgment, overgiving, and self-loss. She no longer lives to please. She lives to be. And that presence unsettles many, because it reflects an emptiness they are not ready to face. What disturbs others is not her solitude, but the peace she carries, a peace born from turning inward. Along that path, she faced abandonment fears, emotional dependence, and beliefs that a woman's worth requires someone beside her. Masks fell away. Definitions were questioned. She learned to see herself through her own eyes, not through others. She once wondered whether being alone was failure or freedom. Eventually, the answer became clear. Better to be alone than invisible in a relationship. From that awakening, she made a silent vow, never to accept less than she deserves. Even with doubt, even through quiet nights, she continues. Because real love does not imprison or diminish who we are. Until such love arrives, she remains loyal to herself. She still believes in love, but not in sacrificing herself to earn it. Her heart still longs to connect, but she knows the difference between desire and dependency. True love never asks a person to shrink or abandon their essence. She has known relationships where she was accepted only when agreeable and easy. She once believed love meant endurance and waiting. But after losing herself, she realized that kind of love does not nourish, it erodes. Now she chooses wholeness over pairing at any cost. She does not rush to fill space because she has learned to sit with herself. Her solitude is not fear-based, but conscious. She knows who she is, what she needs, and what no longer aligns. She is not looking for a savior, nor to be completed. She is open only to walking beside someone capable of loving without control or harm. And if that person has not arrived, she still lives fully. She chooses herself not because she does not need love, but because losing herself is too high a price. Better to be alone in peace than trapped in a relationship that slowly extinguishes the soul. And that quiet choice has become her greatest strength.